Do you believe in love after life, after life, after life, after life? Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to an episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. Well, we played like garbage for 3 quarters, but had one really good quarter, and it was the opposite last week, but we wound up winning, so who cares? Grossi. And today, it is time to break down that game between the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers, because there is a ton to talk about. Of course, the number one thing right now, the fact that the Packers were able to win, overcome a 17-point deficit in the fourth quarter after blowing a 12-point lead last week against the Falcons. Now it's the complete opposite, and there's definitely a lot to improve upon. We want to talk about Jordan Love a lot. We want to talk about the Saints a lot, and Derek Carr, who hopefully is okay, though it is expected that he's going to miss some time. But yeah, let's get down to it because there's a lot here. Heading into this game was historical for many, many reasons. One being the first time since 1992 there would be a different starting quarterback at the Packers home opener that wasn't Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers, and it was Jordan Love today. And heading into this game, there was a lot that was stacked against the Packers. The Saints are 2-0. They have an incredibly great defense, though they were missing some guys in their secondary, and of course, their running backs weren't really available. This is still a good team. On top of that, the Packers were decimated. Jair Alexander, their all-pro corner, out. Aaron Jones, out. David Bakhtiari, out. Christian Watson, out. Elton Jenkins, out. And those aren't just like, 5 random guys. Those are 5 starters. Those are 5 of our best players. And so heading into this, it was going to be a challenge. And for the first 3 quarters, it was absolutely that. The Packers offense couldn't get anything going. They had absolutely no run game whatsoever, which is definitely concerning. The Saints defense was playing really good football. Like Alontae Taylor had a great game. Like he was playing insanely well. He was rushing after the quarterback. He had numerous pass breakups, and it just looked like it was going to be one of those days where nothing was going right. Hell, even the Packers special teams just pooped the bed and allowed a punt return for a touchdown. So nothing was going well. And the Saints on offense, they weren't doing anything that was super crazy. They went down the field on their first drive and they scored with Jimmy Graham. And then after that, they got a field goal before the half. And that was it. The thing that made the big difference was that our offense was just not doing anything, and our defense was allowing these long drives to happen, even though they eventually would stall out, especially when Derek Carr got hurt. Derek Carr getting injured on a sack in their third quarter on their first drive and had to be taken to the hospital for a shoulder injury. Hope he rests up and hope he is good. And from that point, the offense of the Saints was definitely different, in which Jameis Winston had to come in, who is not as good as Derek Carr. But Derek Carr did not have amazing stats today. Went 13 for 18, 103 yards, and 1 touchdown, and was sacked 3 times. When Jameis Winston was all said and done, he went 10 for 16, 101 yards, and got sacked 1 time. Did not turn the ball over, but the Saints stopped running the ball. They ran it a total of 6 times in the second half after Derek Carr got injured. So heading into that fourth quarter, the offense of the Saints started to sputter out, and they started to throw the ball more for some reason and not run it. And because of that, it stopped the clock. And the Packers defense really locked down on Jameis Winston and the Saints offense. And on top of that, the Packers offense started to find its groove. And again, this is all just the fourth quarter. They hadn't scored a single point before that. They had an opportunity to kick a field goal. They decided to go for it. They did not get it. And Jordan Love, before the fourth quarter, was not having the best day, though you did have receivers dropping the ball like Jaden Reed and things that were just not working out for the Packers on offense. And again, no run game. They have all these guys out, but they started to put it together. And bit by bit, the Packers started crawling back. And even when they got down to the goal line in the fourth quarter, it took until 4th down for Jordan Love to take it in himself. Matt LaFleur then decided to go for the 2-point conversion, and he got it, a very risky move, and it wound up paying off because later when they got the ball back, Romeo Doubs with an incredible catch, securing the touchdown, and then they gave it back to the Saints, and it was up to the defense. And the defense didn't do that great, but they eventually stopped them in field goal range, And of course, the Saints were unable to convert and they missed the field goal, allowing the Packers to win. And so after all of that, Jordan Love finished the day 22 for 44, so he completed 50% of his passes, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That was Jordan Love's first interception this season and also his first touchdown at Lambeau during a regular season, which is a phenomenal feeling. But Jordan Love was also our leading rusher. 9 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown. He had an average of 4.3 yards per carry. A.J. Dillon, 11 for 33, 3 yards per carry. He struggled, and it just seems like the Packers have no run game besides Aaron Jones, which is very, very concerning. And so that's definitely something to look out for. Our leading receivers, Romeo Doubs, 5 for 73 with a touchdown. Jaden Reed, who definitely struggled earlier in that game, came down with 3 catches for 63 yards. Luke Musgrave had the most receptions, 6 for 49. And this was just a phenomenal performance in the fourth quarter by a young, scrappy team. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are starting to say, well, Derek Carr got hurt. The Saints would have won if Derek Carr wasn't hurt. And listen, that was probably going to be correct. At the end of the day, though, that defense, the Saints defense, who was very, very good, they blew a 17-point lead. They allowed 18 unanswered points. Your offense did not turn the ball over. You just stopped running the ball and started throwing it instead. And so you look at coaching, and of course you look at the defense just getting gassed because they were out there the entire fourth quarter. And that is a recipe for disaster. I know, because the Packers blew a 12-point lead to the Falcons last week. So yeah, I'm going to be really effing excited for Jordan Love because what a win for him. His home opener. And just the amount of feelings and emotions, I am just so happy for Jordan Love and this young team. And they did it with all of those injuries to key guys. Their entire left side of the offensive line out. Aaron Jones out. Christian Watson out. Freaking then lost guys like Valentine, Campbell, oh yeah, and Jair was already out too. And listen, Chris Olave is a phenomenal player, and I think the Saints are going to be just fine because if Derek Carr was in, obviously I think that game is going to probably go in the Saints' way. But at the end of the day, for the Packers, they played the team that was in front of them, and for 3 quarters, they got their ass kicked. But for 1 quarter, they scored 18 unanswered points, and what a way to bounce back from last week. And now, looking at Thursday, the Packers have a date with the Detroit Lions. They're both 2-1. It's for the lead in the division, and I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I pray that the Packers heal up because we are definitely going to need some of those guys back, especially if we want to go against guys like Aiden Hutchinson, who had a great day today. But overall, it's a great day to be a Packers fan. Another win, and yeah, let them keep sleeping on us. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. You know, I saw me at Tom Grossi commenting on all social media, see down below. A huge shout out and thank you to all the patrons and YouTube members for supporting this channel. And thank you very much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi, and as always, go Pack Go.